And we are back, people, in game number 2 for the JoinDOTA League Season 2 Division 1-2 playoffs. This is the lower bracket semi-final, so to say, between Kingdom and Assail. As Assail, they took game number 1. It was rather drawn out game, but Assail, they were really ahead throughout the majority of the game with just a really farmed Meepo. But we are HeflaTV, my name is Coacher, and joining me for this game also is Whiplash.
Hello, hello. Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Moving into game number 2. We saw Assail just play an overall very solid game. They had a lot of aggression, a lot of initiation, team fight. They were able to fight up despite there being a tinker. They managed to take the barracks pretty easily most of the times. And overall just felt like they did simply outplay Kingdom as far on an individual skill level, I want to say. And drafting-wise, I do feel like that could have gone either way, but Kingdom, or Assail definitely had, I guess, a little bit of an early edge, and the amount of Blink Daggers they were able to purchase and just how aggressive they were able to be, early on. But despite that, we'll see if things change in game number 2 of this best of 3. Assail, they pick up the Razor, which was on Kingdom's roster last game, and they're grabbing their Nature's Prophet once again, which it seems like they were very comfortable and happy with in game number 1 compared to the Viper from Kingdom, and we should soon see what their second pick will be.
Yeah, I guess something like a Tide Hunter maybe wouldn't be too bad, just get that awesome team fight for you, although there still is the Faceless Void. Having said that, Razor, I think, is an excellent hero against Faceless Voids because Static Link still goes through Chronosphere, as of course does the Eye of the Storm, but nope, Kingdom. They get their hands on the Shadow Shaman, and, well, rightly so. First of all, you don't really maybe want to waste a ban on it in the second phase, and if you don't, Assail, I think they just would have picked it up 100% otherwise.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Coach. Or that was exactly my thought process. So I agree with the Shadow Shaman pickup, and a little bit of a respect ban on the Meepo. You know what? I'm starting to see if you know that another team can play Meepo, you actually have to respect the Meepo and ban him out a lot of the times because he's just actually a really good hero, and teams have, so I guess, really figured out how to play him a lot better than they have in the past. Originally, he was just kind of a joke hero, but he's serious business nowadays, man. You have to fear and respect the Meepo.
Yeah, ever since the changes came that he can already get that one Meepo from level 3 onwards, it's changed actually quite a lot. But we also see Scar of Mage taken out by Kingdom and Ember Spirit together with the Batrider by Assail. So I feel Assail, they really do give credit to the Batrider. They actually banned it out in the first phase in the previous game, but now they get their hands on the Sand King again.
Yeah, so their team fight's still looking pretty darn strong. The Razor and Sand King do bring just a lot of sustained DPS in these team fights. The Epicenter lasts for a good amount of time. You can always follow it up with an additional Burrow Strike or some Sandstorm AoE damage. So I'm pretty happy so far with the Assail's lineup. Kingdom, they looked, just from the first 2 picks, I think they want to be a little bit more team fight ready early on and more aggressive early on this time around, which I'm okay with that. We'll have to see what else they want to put in their lineup as well. It's still kind of early, but this Viper could end up mid lane. We sometimes will see him in the safe lane as well, but generally I do like to see him in that mid lane.
Yeah, Viper matches up against Razor reasonably well as well, I think. At least if you ask me. Maybe somebody begs to differ. Razor, of course, with the Static Link can still harass the Viper, but if the Viper just stays far enough back, has proper vision around the mid lane as well, should be able to just hold his own there.
Yeah, the Viper, it's like the list of heroes that he actually loses against in mid lane is pretty darn small, and I feel like Razor is one of those heroes that he won't do terrible against the Viper, but he's probably not going to win the lane. And Kingdom, they do follow this up with the Bristleback, so adding a little bit of tankiness and more aggression into the lineup. I'm personally am a huge fan of this hero, and teams that play him well, it's a pleasure to watch them run the Bristleback. I know that MVP ran the hero pretty darn efficiently at the TI qualifiers, or the stand-in qualifier games. Even though they didn't make it through, they still ran the hero extremely well. And I want to see more of him, man. I don't see enough of the Bristleback.
Yeah, there was a really small time frame for like a couple of weeks only, where that hero was played quite a lot and actually panned out as well, given the credit that was necessary of him. I think IG ran it during like WPC Ace or something when they were quite dominant there, and VG like to run it a lot as well. But I guess it's just that mostly you go for offlaners like Centaur, Tidehunter, or Faceless Void to actually offer you lockdown, whereas Bristleback just only has that vicious Nasal Goose slow. So yes, he's a tanky bastard, but might not be worth it. Although between the slow of the vicious Nasal Goo and the Viper with the poison attack and the Viper strike, they can just chase heroes down so damn easy. And of course, vicious Nasal Goo with the Shadow Shaman, Massacre wards means easy Roshan as well.
Yep, that's true. He Bristleback, I mean, even if he doesn't provide like a dedicated lockdown ability like Ravage or the Hoof Stomp from Centaur, he does transition to kind of a carry role pretty darn efficiently in the later stages, especially if he has a good early mid game. And yeah, like you already said, he can go in the Roshan pit, uses his Nasal Goo, and help take him down fast as well. The Nyx Assassin being picked up by Assail. So, is this going to be like a support Nyx? Is that what we will see in this case? That would be kind of weird running two melee supports, but I mean, they already have the Nature's Prophet, which will probably end up in the off lane. How do you think things are kind of ending up here for Assail?
Actually, maybe, just maybe, we might even see a Nature Prophet in the jungle. It's really rare nowadays. Although I would think like Razor safe lane, Sanking, semi-jungling of course, Nature's Prophet off lane, and Nyx Assassin maybe even mid lane. But Nyx Assassin up against a Viper might be a little bit too risky though.
That sounds like no fun to me, man. I don't think he'll be doing much better than the Razor will in that situation, if at all. So, yeah, I can't say, yeah, Nyx Assassin, not really feeling it. We'll wait and see what their final pickup is, as well as how they decide to lane this. But Kingdom, I'm starting to line their like their lineup a little bit more over Assail. They've picked up the Earthshaker, and this guy actually, like, he's so annoying. I didn't really realize it, but Fissure actually lasts for 8 seconds. If you trap someone, they're just dead, man. Like, you're not gonna escape them.
Oh, indeed you're not. And to be honest, I really love just Earthshaker overall. That hero is ridiculously good. But Kingdom, to be honest, I mean, I don't see the most synergy between just the Earthshaker and the others. They do lack the proper lockdown to just actually... The guy who jumps in and Earthshaker, he's not the hero to get that really fast blink dagger and wow, Assail. They go for a silencer last pick, and I have to say I personally kind of like that pick against the lineup that Kingdom has.
Yeah, it's interesting. I I don't know, man. Like, is that I guess it's a core silencer. I don't think anyone runs a core Nyx assassin really nowadays. Like in a safe lane weird position, something like that. Uh, yeah, the silencer. I always see him picked up as like the last hero on a team. Like he's always like number 5 man that comes out. You never see him before that. And I guess against the Kingdom's lineup, they still have a lot of right clickers, so I don't think it's the end of the world. But Earthshaker doesn't have the best mana pool. Bristleback doesn't have the best mana pool either, although he can pretty much just spam his spells like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm okay with the pick, but I want to see how these lanes flesh out and how the early game goes. But I do like Kingdom for the early game in general.
The Nyx Assassin really just doesn't fit the draft really, or I mean, even if it fits their draft and they do something crazy good with it, I just don't see the Nyx Assassin's high usefulness against what Kingdom has.
Hey man, synergy with the silencer, you can burn a little bit extra mana. That's their secret plan, man. They're gonna dual lane Nyx Assassin silencer, dual lane the Sand King Razor, put Nature's Prophet middle, or switch that around a little bit, and the lane that the silencer and Nyx Assassin are against, they'll have no mana. But Sanaga Siren, the final pick, and we'll see her in the safe lane or the middle lane. Probably the mid lane from the overall heroes picks. So that's cool. All right, Naga Siren is the last pick. I like it.
Oh, it's definitely not bad. If the Naga Siren just gets the ball rolling, gets that early Radiance, and just keeps on split pushing, Boots of Travels maybe to follow, into Manta style and what have you, can just completely take over the game because Assail, they actually don't have any illusion clear. Sand King Epicenter, yes, can be good for it, but still, I'm not even too sure. I want to say I prefer Assail's lineup a little bit better because it can be a little bit more aggressive earlier on. But then again, Bristleback is really good against the aggressiveness because he's just so damn tanky. But the one problem with Bristle is that he needs to have a nice time in the offlane because otherwise, if he's low on levels, if he doesn't have items to actually tank up and doesn't have points into Bristleback, he might just be fodder.
Yeah, at that point, it's just actually not that good. We'll go ahead and introduce the teams here. Join Dota League Season 2. We have, I'll go ahead and introduce Assail in the bottom left as the Silencer, who has a single ward on him. I'm not sure exactly if he's going. I guess he's going to be support at this point. Anyway, Silencer, he'll be played by Death, and then over at the Nature's Prophet, it's going to be Fatal, the Nyx Assassin, handled by Vexus, and then we have once again another Razor. That will be Linger. He played the Meepo pretty darn well last game. And then finally, last but not least, we have Punlo on the Sand King.
And for Kingdom, on the dire side, 2D will be playing the offlane for them on the Bristleback. Mid lane, taken up by Fixers. Last time it was Music on... I wonder my Music was farming safe lane Tinker as well, so my bad. Fixers playing on the Naga instead of the Razor this time around. Leaving just a defensive tri-lane with Yomo Kompaku on the Earthshaker, Smashy on the Shadow Shaman, and Musica farming up on the Viper.
Oh, by the way, quickly before the game gets underway, go to Sand King, check out his cosmetic item, and then check out the face.
Mushy face?
I just thought that's extremely odd that he would call it that.
Oh,
Still
man.
entertaining nevertheless. Okay, so this is actually a farming Nature's Prophet, and the Silencer as well as the Sand King will be supporting him from the look of things. That's really interesting. You just don't really see that ever. That's, at least. Okay, well he can zone out the Bristleback, I suppose.
That is extremely weird if you ask me. I would have preferred like a farming Silencer with just Nature Prophet in the jungle even, really.
Yeah.
And actually Death taking a lot of harassment from 2D Quill Sprays already, of course. Doesn't have a Magic Stick, just went for sentries before. Although usually if you're up against a Bristleback, you want to get that Magic Stick as fast as you can.
Yeah, indeed, you certainly do. Just, spamming of abilities. We'll see how this mid lane goes. Naga Siren will definitely be doing a lot of bottle growing. Kind of keep her up online and just spamming that Riptide. So she can do pretty good in this lane. Kind of similar to a Magnus where you just, you spam your Shockwave ability. You get a lot of creep kills and just focus on farming up items in the early stages.
It's not bad, definitely, at the moment. I mean, what do you actually think of the Silencer being in the support role here?
I don't know, man. I feel like just Assail, their lineup's just really wonky. I mean, already they have like two offlaners, but they're putting the Nature's Prophet as like the safe lane farmer. Now, this is a hero that will still manage to find farm pretty much no matter what. I mean, it's a Nature's Prophet for crying out loud. He can just make some treants and pop in the jungle if needed be. He doesn't necessarily need a dedicated safe lane with supports, and I guess it'll just be really annoying in lane, but I can't see this combination really roaming around and doing too much. Uh-oh, look at this. Mid lane, look at a very, very nice Echo Slam from the Earthshaker. That'll be the first blood going over to Earthshaker, and that's a little bit unfortunate for Linger, which will now essentially give Naga Siren a nice little edge in the lane.
Yeah, and of course Earthshaker, he was the one getting the first blood. The Fisher was spot on and, well, he deserved the first blood for his effort there. But Fixers, also getting some extra gold. So, I mean, that's exactly what you don't want to have happen in Naga Siren having a good time.
Yeah, that's true. Naga Siren, the lane's a little bit easier for her just because of that. And I'm actually totally okay with that first blood gold going to the Earthshaker, it means that he will have a faster blink dagger, and normally this is a hero that kind of he scrunches around the fine farm. You're not really going to be clearing and killing creeps too soon. It's just your gold will tick up over time, and eventually you can pick up that blink dagger. Maybe you get a lucky kill here or there, which is kind of what happened. So I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, and actually we might have to remake the call again, because we're getting the robo again, man. Only with you, only with you.
Uh-oh, robot voice.
Yeah, so you can actually try to host a call, maybe it will change something.
Alright, let me recall you real quick.
Yes. So... Okay, how is it? Well, I guess you should ask me.
I don't know, how is it, man? Am I any better?
It
Do I
feels
sound
fine
like
at the
a
moment
robot?
at least.
Okay, well, I noticed that the bar quality went up after I recalled you, but I did hear that Skype has a new broadcaster-focused version of their client coming out in the future, so maybe we'll have this problem solved sooner rather than later.
Yeah, hopefully so, but oh, Vex's top lane, actually never mind, the block isn't there enough. He had one more tango to actually eat a tree and get away from the Fisher block.
That was nice. Being able to eat through that tree probably actually just saved his life, actually.
Yeah, with the shackles to follow up, Ether Shock level 2 as well. Definitely might have been enough damage, especially if Musica had gotten in range. But at the moment, it's really weird what's happening on the bottom lane, because Fatal, they're just going for the push. They have the Ring of Pazzi as well, 2D. He's just pretty happy about it, getting those levels. Ponla, of course, only level 2 as well.
Razor. He's going to use the Static Link, which essentially keeps him alive against the Naga Siren. So that's actually kind of nice. It was a really good Earthshaker, Earthsplit, or not Earthsplit Fisher. But the second one may actually, nope, he decides to not use it. Yeah, that would have been a little weird for the Naga Siren. She doesn't have the most health, diving on that tower just to secure the Razor kill. I don't think it's happening, but yeah, what's going on with this bottom lane here as far as the Bristleback and the Nature's Prophet are concerned?
I mean, Fatal, they're just emphasizing so much on the push. Now Ponla actually makes a pull. I'm even hoping that it's a single pull, to be honest, just so that they could get the double wave to go for the tower a little bit easier than if they're already committing to it. And actually Fatal, at some point in time, he even TP to the mid lane between the tier 2 and tier 3 towers trying to go for a courier snipe. It was a couple of minutes ago by now. Couldn't get it, had to use a TP to just get back to the lane. And actually farm wise, just look at this farm, 23 and 3, comparing to the other safe laner who is the Viper, who is 39 and 22.
Yeah, this Viper's pretty much hit every last hit, and well, Nature's not really on the same page, unfortunately, so I don't know. I don't know what's up the stage, honesty. Maybe it will work out in the later stages, but for now, I really do feel like Kingdom just straight up have the better draft and they have the better lanes. Assail? Well, they will get this tower from the look of things. And, oh, hold on though, we have Fisher incoming from the Earthshaker. He gets the kill onto the Sand King. CPs go away, but that's a double kill. Oh man.
Yeah, and the tower gets denied as well, just insult to injury there, really. Oh, that was such a huge misplay by Assail, and like you said, Kingdom, they probably have the more stable draft, I think, and with the way things are going at the moment, it's gonna be extremely hard for Assail, because it's not like the Sand King is farming up properly. There aren't any huge stacks in the jungle either, there's only this double stack in this middle big camp. So, where is their so-called comeback? I guess Vexus, when he gets level 6 on Nyx Assassin, can potentially start setting things up, especially having the Nature Prophet being around globally. But it's just gonna be hard with the way they're farming at the moment.
They're fighting from behind. It's definitely not really looking like game one at all, and they don't have like the hyper aggressive heroes that can go around constantly as a group of 4 or 5 and get pickups here and there. They want kind of, I guess, get a little bit more farm. Their supports as well.
Oh, mid lane, they're gonna go for it again. Yomo Compacto gets the Fisher, beautiful block and linger.
Oh,
just goes
not
down.
again, man, not again. That's I think the third time that Earthshakers came around, or at least the second time they came around and actually been able to get a kill onto this Razor. And I mean, Pester, we saw from game number 1 a Razor fighting from behind is not too effective of a Razor.
Yeah, he definitely is not. And actually, Yomo Kompaku, he has been spot on with the rotations all around with the Earthshaker. He has been a part of every single kill that his team has gotten so far.
Yeah, he has, actually. And that's good. He's got 2 kills to his name, 2 assists. I want to see that early Blink Dagger. He's got some wards instead, but it looks like it will be a lot earlier than a normal Blink Dagger on this hero. Maybe they can get a kill on the Sand King, but no fishes so far. We'll see TP actually cancelled, but the Sand King, yeah, top lane looks like Viper. He's in a new spot. He's just barely alive. He will manage to escape away, but still, a lot of damage stolen from him. He will get hit by the Razor with that Plasma Field, but it is not enough damage to really finish him off.
I mean, I was so sure the Viper's gonna go down. I mean, he was surrounded by 3 heroes for such a long period of time, but just getting that 1 Hex off by the Shadow Shaman made it so that the last right clicks weren't there, and from there Musica already had himself a healing cell. Now he has a mech finish as well, and that was actually crucial, keeping him alive. That would have been a lot of XP handed out. And speaking of XP, 2D, he's almost level 8 already on the Bristleback. I mean, is he really higher than... Well, I guess Razor is keeping up as a mid laner, but if you're up against a tri-lane and you get that much XP, your enemy team is doing something wrong.
I mean, even in net worth, the Bristleback just narrowly outweighs this Razor as well as the Nature's Prophet. Naga's just really far ahead. Same with the Viper, who's, you know, just had free farm and last right-clicking these creeps without any issues. I mean, what are you going to do? Meanwhile, mid lane, once again, this Razor, he's under heavy fire. Can he actually manage to escape? We're going to see Naga Siren back up for the time being. There's your Echo Slam. And then Fissure follow up. Can they actually finish him off? 1 or 2 more hits. 20 health. Razor. He'll get finished off by the Earthshaker. We now have 3 kills to his name. The Viper with the mech keeps his team alive. And we're looking at potentially a tier 1 tower in the mid lane falling towards the likes of Kingdom.
Man, this Earthshaker, the last punch, he just got like 100 to 200 extra range from that, but I mean, just getting 2 easy kills, tower on top of that, it's 6-0 already. I just see this game maybe being like a 20-minute GG if Assail just can't gain momentum. But let me try calling you now. You're not going robo, but you're just muffled and low, so hopefully third time is the charm for the call. And fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It's weird. I mean, I have really good internet connection. I think it's just simply because I'm in Korea and you're in Germany.
I'm in Estonia, man. I'm in Estonia.
Sorry, Estonia. I don't know. Same thing to me, man.
Well,
You're
at the
all,
moment,
like,
it
in that
sounds
area.
completely fine at least. I have the exact same internet speed as you. Maybe just the routing gets messed up, like in the Southeast Asian side, and doesn't reach Korea
Maybe.
quite.
It's weird because, like, I hear you, like, perfectly fine. No issues ever.
Yeah, and actually, I've never had such issues with anybody except for you. I mean, with Mito when I cast, he's from Taiwan, but it's perfectly fine, although the distance is the same at least.
Yeah, it's somewhat similar. Taiwan's like south of Korea, but that's about it. Anyway, back to the action. Hopefully, the sound quality issues won't be creating too many more problems for the time being. Naga Siren up to 2,000 gold. She's picked up her drums as well, so not rushing straight into the Radiance. A lot of time we'll actually see Naga Sirens go for that Ring of Aquila early on, but the drums also a fine alternative. We could be having a big engagement up at the top lane. These wards have managed to take down the tower. They will indeed get it. Viper Strike onto the Silencer. He'll be stuck in the trees, though. Impale follow-up, but everybody from Assail is just forced to run away. We'll see Razor come in. He's able to use Static Link onto the Bristleback, but it will get broken pretty easily. They also get the Nyx Assassin net onto Razor, and he's going to fall as well from the look of things. That's a triple kill to Musica. They've killed off 4 as well as the tower. It is 10-0. Kingdom, they may have lost game number 1, but they are completely running all over Assail in game number 2, and they just called the GG at 12.5 minutes into the game.
Man, this was such a dominant performance by Kingdom. I mean, they looked like night and day, as different as night and day that is from game number 1 and game number 2 now.
That was brutal, man. That was absolutely brutal. I'm wondering what will happen in game number 3 and why Kingdom just kind of failed hard in game 1 but dominated game number 2. I really think like the draft had a large part to do with it in game 1, but man, game number 2, Kingdom, they came back like a completely new team, and I mean, look at the deaths on Kingdom's End, man. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Really just all out perfect plays across every single lane. They just played it to the dot at the moment. And of course, I really think that Assail's draft, it left to be desired. The Nyx Assassin really didn't hold the place here at all.
Yeah, just the draft overall didn't really make a lot of sense and was confusing. Their lanes were not incredibly strong as well, but I don't know. I guess the Assail, they talk to their drafter and say, "Hey, man, like, let's try to have something a little more similar to game number 1, maybe."
Yeah, I mean, they had a 1 game lead, so they had room to actually experiment. But as this is a best of 3, we are going to the last and deciding game now. So guys, don't go anywhere. And of course, if you liked us, be sure to follow us to just provide support. So for future tournaments, we can actually show like, oh, we have X amount of followers on Twitch and whatnot. You can hire us, recruit us, what have you. And of course, check out our social media as well to know when we're going live, maybe to contact us, give some feedback and whatnot. HeflaTV on Facebook, Twitter, VK for the Russian viewers. And if you want to see our votes, they are youtube.com/HeflaMoke. And if you like the casters personally, @Coucher for me on Twitter to leave feedback, and @YeahWhiplash for my co-caster. But yeah, just some songs now as we jump into game number 3's lobby.